School. Well, I remember going to school half-time for part of the time, and I think that was because a lot of the male teachers went to the war, obviously, and they were short of teachers, so until they got the female teachers in, we sort of went half-time, and to me it seemed a long time, but it could have only been a matter of months really, but as a child time seems a long time, doesn't it? Because we didn't see your friends for, there's some people you never saw for weeks on end, because you didn't see them out of school. I lived sort of at Moorhouse, which was near Moorhouse School, and I went to Milnrow Parish Church. So I was quite a way off the school, you know, and so all the friends lived nearer the school, so I didn't see the people who went on the other shift sort of thing. You went mornings one week and afternoons the week after, and I don't know how long that lasted, but it didn't help. It didn't spoil our education. We still had everything we had to do before, you know. Walked, or the bus. The bus took about 12 and a half minutes from the bus stop opposite Moorhouse there. Took about 12 and a half minutes to get into town. The ones with the platform on the back, you know, double deckers. Yeah, it was bus. You went everywhere on the bus or walked, you know. I mean, I walked to school every day. Because we lived sort of further away, we could leave school 5 minutes earlier at lunchtime so we could get home. And my mum used to cook the meal the night before, and I just used to have to warm it up and, you know, dish it up until school dinners came out. I was about 13, I think, when they started with the school dinners, and I was in the top class. So we had to serve everybody else, you know. We had to go down about a quarter of an hour before and have our dinner and then serve everybody else. You didn't have a lot of treats because you didn't have a lot of money, really. I don't know, we used to go to pictures. We all used to go together, all four of us. Milnrow Empire, it was called Milnrow Bug. It was supposed to be a flea pit. I never got any fleas from it, but still. But they used to change the programme 3 times a week, you see. So you could go 3 times a week and see different films. So that's what we used to do when we went out. We'd go to pictures. My dad was a painter and decorator until he volunteered for the army and he went. He was younger than my mum. So, and it was very unusual for them to take a married man with children at the beginning. So I was 11 when he went, and I was 16 and a half when he came home. He'd been home on leave a few times till he went abroad, you know, but I was 16 and a half when he came back. And so I didn't see my dad for quite a long time. And well, it was quiet really, apart from when the sirens went, and then everybody dashed to the shelters, you know. People had Anderson shelters in the gardens, those on the estate, and people who obviously lived in semi-detached houses, you know, private ones. They had their own. We had, our area shelter was the cellar. We went in the cellar, and next door neighbour came down as well because she didn't have a cellar, so she used to come as well. And we used to take everything down there, you know, to survive if the house came down on top of us, you know, but otherwise, no, it was quite quiet really. They did have bombs. There were a couple of bombs dropped on Fairgrove playing field, and I remember going to look at the craters when they'd cleared everything away. I remember the fish shop, Frank Fish had the butchers. Mrs. Zanker had the greengrocers. Mr. and Mrs. Haig had the gift shop. Mr. Ward had the cobblers. He had twins. They went to school with me. They were in my class. And then there were two sisters. I can't remember what they were called, but they had a baker's shop opposite our shop. Yeah. And there was there was a coffee shop next door to our shop. And I can't think what she was called. But she went to character. She was a very quiet lady, really. Bit staid, you know. Yeah. Didn't like the idea of 3 children next door, I don't think. But we were very good children, I can tell you that. Yeah, I can't think of what she was called now. It'll come to me probably. And then there was a bike shop on the corner. Yeah, and the co-op was across. Co-op was at the bottom.
Do you remember any of the houses on Milnrow Road having Rediffusion radios?
Yeah, we did. We had a Rediffusion radio. Used to wake us up first thing in the morning. Yeah, we had a Rediffusion radio. Yeah. That seems a long time ago. Good God. Yeah, we had Rediffusion radio. But I don't know who else had one, but we did. I can't remember much about it, but I do remember that there was this fire engine that was made out of something else, and they called it Leapy Lee, but that, I don't know anything else about it, only that. I weren't interested in, I was only 10, I weren't interested in fellas then. If I'd have been 14 or 15, I might have been interested in firemen, but I wasn't at 10-year-old. No. Well, there were 3 families came and stayed in the house across from where we lived. And we played with them, we got on very well with them. They came from Manchester, I think. And they weren't there very long. And I think, really, the reason why we had to go to school half-time was because they had to make room for the evacuees as well. So there were more children and less teachers, you know. So I think that was the reason.